we got a new Goku leader. However, this is the childhood version that focuses on Dragon Ball. Is it good? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mabi here, and today I'm going to be giving you my personal deck profile for this Son Goku childhood blue leader that came out in FB06. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. I upload daily duels and deck profiles for different anime TCGs. Alright guys, here we go. The way that I built the deck is obviously going to be around the leader. I didn't really do much World Tournament because I found that maybe I don't really need to. So this leader is all about using a lot of 2 or less cost extras for free. Well, I say for free, you have to discard a card, but basically you don't have to use extra energy, which makes it so you can use it every single turn. Now, if you guys just want the deck profile, this is a video breakdown showing you every card and how it works. But once again, if you just want the list, pause the video. My website has everything, text format, image format. You can grab everything there, all the decks that we cover. All right, let's talk about every single card, starting with the leader. Son Goku Childhood, Saiyan and World Tournament, FB06, 15,000 power. When you attack, you get to draw a card. When your life is at 4 or less, draw one, then flip this card over. This leader, I think you want to awaken ASAP in order to make use of your ability, in order to pretty much remove the board. This deck is all about swarming the board, but also be extremely annoying, bouncing back characters, and also bottom decking them. So this is the awakened version, 20,000. When attacking, draw one card. Nice. Both sides you get to draw one card. And then you can activate main once per turn. This is good because you can use it during any part of your turn. You trash one card from your hand. Then during this turn, the next time you use an extra with an original cost of 2 or less, you do not have to pay the cost. So basically, you don't have to spend any extra energy. Now, because extras are super important in this deck, let's get all of the extras that I'm going to be using right here, right now. Now, remember, it's going to be 2 or less, and these are the ones that I'm using. So let's start with the first one, which is going to be Final Hope Slash. This came out in FB01. This costs 1, and you can activate this during your battle. Now remember, this says the next time you would use it. So it could be a battle card, it could be a main phase card, but this one's specifically a battle one. And we're running 10 different cards here. These are the ones that you're going to be using with this. Alright, so basically your leader or up to one of your battle cards gets 20,000, which is really powerful. Then choose a battle card 2 or less and bounce it back to the owner's hand. Now, this deck has some ways of lowering the cost, so this one might pop off more than you would think. And also because, you know, it costs 1 trashing a card, but being able to like KO something or something is really important. But you primarily want to use these cards. So this is Dodon Wave. This one came out in set 6. This one costs 2 or discarding 1 card with your ability. Activate during battle, so it's another battle timing. Your turn only. Well, this one is also your turn. Choose up to one battle card that's 5 or less in the opponent's area and bounce it back. Then, if you have a 4 cost or more character in your battle area, that character gains 10,000 power. Really strong card if you're able to use it. You know, with the 4 costs, obviously you get the extra damage. You get to bounce something back. All you have to do is discard 1 card, and because every single turn you are going to be drawing 1 card, you know, it's not that much of a deficit to do so. So once again, this deck is super in controlling. So this one's pure damage with a small bounce back. This one is a high bounce back with a small amount of damage. And this one here, Sleepy Boy Technique, which we were running 4 of, this is straight up pure removal. So it's also another World Tournament card that came out in set 6. So activate this during your main. This is a different timing. These are battles. This is during your main. Trash another card from your hand. So if you just do decide to use this with your leader ability, you're going to be discarding 1 card and then another card here. So you got to be very careful. This deck is pretty hard to pilot. You have to know how many copies you have in your hand, how much is in the trash, what's the likelihood of you drawing more stuff. You know, there are some cards where if you have 7 or less, then stuff will activate, so you gotta be very wary. Choose up to 2 battle cards with a total cost of 5 or less and bottom deck them really strong instead of sending it to their hand in order for them to summon it again or use it for counters. You bottom deck it. And as I mentioned, there are some ways to lower costs, so you might be able to do technically a total cost of 6 or more, or 6 or less. So those are great. So all of these cards are really good to use with your leader ability. 4 of these, and 2 of these. Now let's move on to all of our character cards, starting from the cheapest one. This is My Future. This one came out in FB01 155 on play. Add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. That's a lot, but as I mentioned, your leader wants to awaken ASAP. That means when you awaken, you're going to be able to use this in order to clear the board, and and in turn keep summoning stuff. Auto once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards, this is one of those, you're going to be losing a lot of cards, so this one will happen a lot as well. When an opponent's battle card is bounced back to your hand, you get to draw 1 card. If you have more than 1 Mai on the field, you are in good shape. You have a lot of cards that bounce stuff back. For example, these 2 Final Hope Slashes and these 4 Dodon Waves, and you also have some characters that will be bouncing something back. So running 4 of these Mais, they're really strong in the deck. Now time for another new card that came out in set 6. This is Ranfan Earthling World Tournament. I'll let you guys know I'm not running a World Tournament package, like running the searching card for that. It's just really nice blue cards that really power up the ability. So basically, 1, 10, 5, activate main once per turn. If your leader is Goku Childhood, so can be only used with this, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and reduce its cost by 1. Man, this is good. First of all, very cheap to get out. Obviously you want to play Mai's first to awaken, but if you have the extra energy, or you didn't get the Mai, feel free to throw on Ranfan, and hopefully she survives long enough, because, you don't have to rest her when you use this. Your opponent has to use some sort of removal to get rid of it. You're going to be able to lower the cost of stuff. If you have 2 of these, that's even better. So that's really good for the deck. I'm surprised it's only a common with how good this thing is. All right, time for your 2 costs. So once again, the priority is Mai for the curve, and then Ranfan. So now for your 2 costs. So your priorities are going to be your Krillins for the most part, and then you have these Majin Boos as your curve. So let's talk about Krillin. This one also came out in set 6, Earthling World Tournament 220. Trash 1 extra. Then if your leader has World Tournament, you get to draw 2 cards. You have 10 extras, so if you end up with way too many, or if you have 1, feel free to trash it and just grab more. Having extra cards and more options is a really good thing. So there you go, 220. The only thing bad about this card is it has 0 counter. So this deck will suffer from not having enough 10,000 counters. I will be honest, because you are running so many of these, which could be characters that are 10,000. So you're going to be seeing me running a lot of 5,000 and 10,000 characters. But Krillin is one of those where, yeah, discard an extra to draw more. It kind of works itself out. Now for your secondary priority on your curve 2, Majin Buu Mini DA from Starter Deck 6. 22010. This is another card that I put in because it's 10,000, but the ability is really good. Add 1 card from your life to your hand. Now you notice this Krillin doesn't do that, but that's because you have really strong Mais that'll help you do that. But yeah, this one will also help you self-awaken. Then look at the top card and place it to the top or bottom. With this deck, you really need to get the things that you need, so this will help you do that. You aren't going to be playing it that much. You rather play the Krillin, but it's here as a 10k and play on curve. All right, so now for your 3s. So we are running 3 cards in this deck. 3 copies of 3s for your curve. So this is a low priority play here, and this is Chiaotzu. This is from FB06 32010. It's in here for, once again, 10k counter on play. Add 1 card from your life to your hand. Then you can activate main once per turn, trash an extra, choose a battle card 4 or less, and it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. It's a decent ability. He's a pretty weak attacker. It's pretty much it's mostly here to self-awaken or be a little 10k there. Its ability is okay. Now for so both of these are actually really good to play on this turn. You have these Trunks Futures and these Jackie Chuns. So try to have both in your hand, see what your opponent ends up playing, and then play which one, because they're both really good. So if your opponent is rushing the board, I recommend Trunks Future first as a priority. FB01 325 on play. You can self-awaken if you haven't yet. Then choose a battle card with 5 or less and bounce it back to their hand. It's really good. Once again, you have Ranfan, so technically you can bounce back a 6, but when you place on curve, most likely 5's fine. But then Mai's really good. You're going to be able to hopefully have 7 or less when you get the draw, and then bounce it back, and then combos with that. If your opponent doesn't have much on the board and you're not afraid, feel free to throw out these Jackie Chuns instead. Really strong for the deck. FB06 325 5. On play, you can self-awaken. At the end of your turn, if you used an extra with an original cost of 1 or more, you get to draw 1 card. Now, these cards are really amazing, and honestly, it really depends on your playstyle. I've been testing it out with 3, but I might bump it up to 4 because it's just so powerful having the ability to draw a card at the end of the turn. So I'm running 3 in this particular setup, but I highly recommend, if you value that, run 4. This is like a really good one to run 4 of. But I really wanted to have just a couple of more bounce back. Like, this one helps you get a card, but this one helps you get a card too if you had the Mai on the field. So that's why I kind of running like 50-50 on both of these. But yeah, it's really strong. Good card. And it also has a really nice counter on it. All right, time for your 4 drops. So for this curve, we are running 6 different cards. And I probably am going to be running this one as a priority. Trunks Future from set 1 for 25. 5. So this one has critical, whatever. On play, bounce back at 3 or less. So it's not the best bounce back, it really isn't. But thank God you probably are going to be hopefully running a couple of Rand fans to order to bounce back at least the 4 drop. And basically you want this in your deck to combo off of Mai. This is all about swarming the board and using as much as you can. So here we go. Controlling the board. Now for Tiens. So this is a new one that came out in Star Deck 6, running 2 of these. So this is a semi-low priority that we're running. I might end up like running 3 of these and 3 of these. It really depends. 430 0. The only reason I'm not is because it's 0. Critical. Another critical. God dang. On play, add up to 2 total extras with different card names from your drop to your hand. So remember running 3. Final Hope, Dodon Wave, and Sleepy Boy Technique. So if you end up trashing these or using these, this Tien will help you get it back. And even if you can't use it, they're still used. The extra cards that you grab, they're going to be used for fodder, you know, trashing even more stuff. So there you go. Now for your 5 curbs. We're running 6 cards again. This one, the first one here is Vegeta. We're running 2 of these. This is a low priority from Starter Deck 02. 535-0. This has double strike, helps you win out games. On play, you go ahead and bottom deck a 4 or less. This really works in the deck because you have the Rand fans to lower cost in order to do a 5, 6 or less and bottom deck it. Then the next card you're going to be running is Son Goku Childhood. This is a secret rare from FB06. This is high priority, so we're running 4 of these. 5, 35, 0, same exact stats. Also has double strike. But instead of just randomly placing something on the bottom of the deck, this one has a really cool and unique ability. During this turn, the next time you would use a non-field extra with an original cost of 2 or less, which is every single extra that we're running here. After activating the skill activates again. So basically, the turn that you drop this out, I smacked the camera, you want to just use your ability, use your leader ability in order to use it. So for example, if you use Final Hope / once, it'll activate again. You give somebody up to 40,000, or you split it between 2, and you can bounce back 2 characters that are 2 or less. Even better if you have the Rand fan. So that's how that's working in the deck. If you have the Dodon waves, you can choose 2 characters that are 5 or less or more. Then you can, if you have a 4 or more character in play, give that character plus 10,000. This is for the battle, so you have to pretty much give it to this Goku. I guess the same thing with Final Hope / you would probably give 40,000 to the one character, which is good. If you Final Hope / with this Goku, this is going to be a 50, 60, 70. Oh my god, so strong, extremely powerful. And then the final card that you can use with it is going to be Sleepy Boy Technique, but let's be honest, you probably won't, because you have to activate it twice. So let's say you do use this, you have your leader ability, you have to trash 1 card, then the next card gets played without energy. You trash 1 card, you use this by trashing 1 card, you remove stuff, then you use it again by trashing yet another card. So you get rid of 3 cards plus 4. This is the 4th card that you remove from your hand in order to really heavily remove the board. So this is really good if you're playing something like, for example, Saiyan Goku. Like, that one is extremely rough to deal with. But I think overall, this deck really suffers from playing against anything that's, like a Broly, anything that runs like 7, 8, 9 drops. Those things are insane. It's really tough to deal with here. But anything that's mid-range, or especially they rush the board with a lot of stuff, you have a lot of ways to deal with it. But once again, the weakness is definitely going to be the really high ramping sort of decks here, because you don't have anything to deal with that. You can technically run some more stuff, but a lot of those events are like 3 cost plus, which doesn't really work with your leader ability. But you run what you want to run. And the final cards is just these new 7 cost supers launches. Nice. Launch is so cool. Okay, anyways, that is the deck, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure to subscribe for more deck profiles and stay tuned for more duels. I'll put a link in the description for the full deck list so you can just check it out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.